Welcome back to Tiger Talks Wrestling. This is your host, of course, Tony. And for this episode of Tiger Talks Wrestling, we've got BEW star, the hardcore Enigma himself, Shadowgram.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey, welcome to the show. Happy to have you on here.
Awesome.
Uh, the fourth guy we've had on here from BEW, so it's going to be a good one, I'm sure.
Sorry about that.
That's all good. All right. So I want to get started with your backyard wrestling origins. What first got you involved in the backyard?
Well, what first got me involved was that one day I was on Facebook and I saw one of my good friends. His name is Cam Pierce, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw that he had this backyard wrestling going on, and I was like, you know what? Let me hit up Cam. I haven't talked to him in a while. Let me say hi. How's he been?
Mm-hmm.
And we just started talking, and I asked him. I was like, yo, so are you guys still doing backyard wrestling? And he goes, yeah, you should come down because he knows how big of a fan I was with professional wrestling and stuff. So
Right.
I went down, and I met Nevon. It's kind of crazy because me and Nevon, we went to high school together, and I
Yeah.
never said hi to him at all. Like I used to walk right by him and like not say anything.
Right.
And like I didn't start talking to Nevon till I like started going to BEW, which is really kind of
Yeah.
weird to me, but things happen.
Right. It does. Sometimes for the better. You never know.
Yeah,
So, I, who would you say were some of your pro wrestling influences in when you first started out in backyard?
most definitely Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was always one of my big influences in professional wrestling. As I was growing up, my dad, he's a real big wrestling fan, and like he has tapes that go way back to WWC, that go way back to like Abdullah the Butcher, Bruiser Brody, Ric Flair,
Mhm.
Savio Vega. I could go on and on and on, man. Like my old man has a
Right.
real big wrestling collection, like, and I just grew up with it. And another wrestler I could also say is Ric Flair. That's where I get my chops from. Studying Ric
Yeah.
Flair all the time, all the
To say not
time.
only your chops, but you'd have to say the Shadow's curse. I'm sure came from him as well. So,
Yeah, that too. Shadows curse always.
right. Did you ever really watch any backyard wrestling before you got started in BEW?
Not really. As soon as I got into BEW, like that's when my main like thing was backyard wrestling. Like I started watching other products and stuff, but I like I didn't really see the competition that like I mean I felt like we were a lot better. The things we did was a lot better. I mean
Yeah.
even what we got going on now, like I still think we're the best. Like I don't think nobody could ever top that. I mean over here at least, but in backyard
Right.
wrestling, I feel like we're gonna be the most dominant one at the end of the day.
That's the way you should feel, honestly, about any promotion that you're working in. So let's get right into your tenure in BEW here before we move into anything else. Uh, I was sent some facts and questions, so we'll get to some of those.
All
But
right, no problem.
let's start off with your debut. You debuted on July 19th in 2014 as the Ultimate Power Felix.
Yes, I did. I did debut as the Ultimate Power Felix,
And,
and like I like I just like honestly, it was just a character that I just just for the just to get something started off. You know what I'm saying? Something to base myself off of. But you know, Ultimate Power. I did a little good run with it. I mean, it's not like something I really wanted to stay with. The character I really actually wanted to stay was the one I'm doing recently. You know?
so from that, obviously, you debuted, and the first thing you were in was a triple threat match with Nevon McDonald and Tyler Sands for the NXT or for the BEW Championship. Sorry, I was checking something out.
Yeah, that was actually an honor because to get a championship match, your first match, that's really like hard to find anywhere. I don't care who you are. That's really far. That's really hard to find. But
Right?
yeah, it was. I had a blast doing that match with them, and like I said, it was an honor. You know, that this is like my first ever time meeting these guys and stuff, and they're giving me a championship match right off the bat. I mean, I guess they saw talent, you know.
Yeah. So off of that, you pretty much started your feud with Nevon McDonald at that point in time,
Yes,
and
I did.
for his own personal achievement, Nevon actually declared himself the king of Hispanics.
Oh man, the king of Hispanics. Oh man, did that put a that made my blood boil that day.
Oh, I would
That
imagine it
really,
did.
you don't even understand. After that, that rivalry. Oh man, that is just it's just a thing that is still to this day, it still bothers me.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it does. Uh, Especially placing a sombrero on your head and giving you an El Kabong at that same
Yeah.
point too.
Listen, man. Oh man, don't even remind me about that.
Hey, it's part of your past. I got to bring it up a little bit. We'll mention we do have one person in the chat room. One J Joker Designs is in here.
Awesome.
Says that Shadow Grim dude, he's the best.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Okay. So from there, after Navine did all that, you actually defeated Navine in the first one-on-one encounter between the two of you.
Yes, I did. I did. Destruction one in that all out hardcore match. Man, listen, when Navon hit me over the head with that glass, listen, man, and that blood kept pouring down. Listen, I didn't know what to do. The only thing I felt was that adrenaline pumping, and I just wanted to go to war after that.
Yeah, as mentioned before, then when he actually fired you after you defeated him. But yeah, that match too.
Mm-hmm.
We get into.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about what got you your job back and got you that match at Day of Destruction one, though.
Oh, so you want to know the facts about that, huh?
Yes.
Well, as you saw in the video, I kidnapped him
Mm-hmm.
and I went through his whole ministry, his
You did.
whole little clip he had going on there. I went through it and I got him where I wanted him. I tied him up, put a blindfold over his face, threw him in the woods, had a gun
Right.
to his face. Hey, if I'm not gonna get it the easy way, I'll get it the hard way. The choice was his, wasn't it? And I
Yeah,
got
it
my
was.
way, didn't it, huh? He signed that paper, right?
Yes, you
And I
did.
got my match.
You got your wish. Now, also at Day of Destruction, you first before the match actually saved Ace from joining Navane's Kiss My Ass Club as well.
Yeah, I did save Ace from his kiss my ass club. You know, I was tired of Nevon, you know, putting pressure on all these new guys, and it was just driving me nuts. Like he shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be trying to disrespect people like that. What the hell's wrong with him? You know,
Right.
who the hell does he think he is?
Yeah, definitely. It's that pretty much the same way I would have felt too. So that's for sure. Uh, so in that hardcore match, it was actually your first time, the first time that BEW had a ring for the show.
Yes.
What what was it like to compete in the ring for the first time in front of an audience as well?
Wow. To compete in a ring, that let me tell you what, it's a complete different feeling from a trampoline. I'll tell you that much. A
Yeah, I can believe that.
complete different feeling from a trampoline. Here in the squared circle, you feel the
Mm-hmm.
exhaustion, you feel everything. And here we're taking those bumps and stuff. That is
Yeah.
no joke. That is no joke. And doing
Right.
that for the first time that day, my whole body was sore. Dude, I had to put myself under hot water that day because, listen, man, like I could barely get up from bed the next morning. That was crazy.
Yeah. Still, I'm sure it was an enjoyable experience as well, though.
Yes, it was. It was very enjoyable. It felt good to actually have a childhood dream actually come true. You know what I'm saying? Because that was actually the first time I was ever in a
Right.
professional wrestling ring as well. So
Yeah, I actually stepped foot in a ring recently myself, not to wrestle, but still stepping foot in a ring was something I've always wanted to do too. So
yeah.
I can feel you there. Um, After you'd beat Navon, you actually would go on to be in another match that same night as well. It's
Yes,
supposed
I
to be
did.
It's supposed to be you going one on one with Gabriel Guzman for the world title, but Cam Pierce threw a little wrinkle in that.
Yeah. He cashed in, and
He did.
he cashed in. He got what he wanted, Cam. You know, so
Yeah.
it's real, that there's really much I couldn't do after there. So
Yeah. He actually pinned you in that match too, so I'm sure that had to
yeah,
kind of sting a little for you.
yeah. I mean, I was already exhausted.
Right? From
Uh,
other two other matches pretty much at that
yeah,
point.
man. So no, I tried to give it a little bit more, but he caught me off guard, and you know,
Hmm. So, seeing how I see this now, Jason Atlas is in the chat room. Also says Shadow's the man, and got to cross you off my list next year.
most definitely, man. I'm willing to do it whenever you are.
All right. So we'd move on to episode 12, Don't Trust Anybody, where you would go on to face David Lowell in a number one contenders match.
Woo! You're talking about one of my biggest rivalries in
Yes,
BW,
sir.
man. You're talking about David Lowell, huh?
Yep.
Listen here, man. After that suplex I gave him,
Mm-hmm.
and I almost broke his foot. He comes back, joins Top Guns. Jumps me. You
Yes, he
know,
did.
it's all right. It's called karma, and David got all of it.
Yep. And we'll get into the matches for that feud here pretty much a little bit. But what were your thoughts in that moment when David pretty much injured himself that the match had to be stopped at that point?
I'm sorry. Say that again. I couldn't hear you. Cut off a little bit.
Yep. What were your thoughts in that particular moment when David went down with the injury and the match had to be cut off at that point?
I mean, at that particular moment, things happen in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
at that, I hit him with the suplex. He came down. He landed wrong on his ankle. I was being a good, showing good sportsmanship. I helped him out the ring, but there's it's so much you can actually do.
Right. That's for sure. Uh, so then later on in the show, actually, you would still have that number one contenders match, but it would be Joseph Anthony who would step up and take David's place.
Yep, and I worked Joseph Anthony, and I did what I had to do, and I went over in the match.
A very, very impressive match, if you ask me. I watched it over last night, and you two had a pretty good match, I'd say.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
No problem. From there, you would go into Backyard Rumble. And the first thing that we'd see you in was a match against Jordan Oliver, actually.
Yeah. Wow. Thinking about that, man, that was so long ago.
Right? We wouldn't see the end of that match, though, because an HJW video would pop up as it looked like Jordan was about to hit you with his finisher and in the match.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yep. HJW. I mean, I don't know where they get off thinking they could just interrupt me.
Right?
Like interrupt one of the best in BEW. But you know, like I said, things happen to the people that just want to mess with other people.
Sure. And we'll get into that feud here in a little bit. Was there an actual finish to that match that we didn't get to see on camera?
Yeah, I went over in that match. That's what happened.
Gotcha. From there, of course, we would see you and Cam Pierce go at it later on Backyard Rumble. And with a low blow that the ref did not see, Cam would actually pick up the win over you.
Yeah, like I said, Cam always found a way to get stick his little devious little plots so he could get what he wants. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With it's just at that time, what could we do?
Right. Do you have any thoughts on that match that took place between the two of you at Backyard Rumble?
Eh, I mean, I felt like it could have been a better match if he wanted to not went out the cowardly way.
Right.
I felt like we could have put a 5-star match on, but things don't happen the way they're supposed to.
Also, what are your thoughts about Cam Pierce overall and how things ended for him in BEW.
I mean, honestly, when you're the champ and you're not showing up, you're not doing your job, there's really no need for you, you know? We need people that are gonna stick to their own, you know, defend the title as a champion. That's the only thing that makes you a champion is when you defend it. It's the
That's
only
true.
thing that you know. So I mean, sadly, you know, things didn't go the way that, like I said, things sometimes things don't go the way they're supposed to, and you know,
Right?
and so obviously the show must go on, you know.
That's true. You can't
So
just end the show because the champion doesn't want to show up. So, okay. So I got a couple things from the chat real quick before I move into the next subject. BBW Wrestling wants to know: would you get in the ring with Mr. Judgment?
anytime, any place, you know me, me Shadow Grim, I don't back down from nobody. A challenge to me is just another progress up the step. You know what I'm saying? Up the ladder. So for
Right.
me, it's just someone else I have to go over to get there. You know?
Right. Jason Atlas mentioned that he'd love to see the match between the two of you, and he's got to come out and attend one of your indie shows as well at some point.
Oh yeah, of course, Jason. You have to come out to one of those, especially next month. Actually, I'm getting ready to. Me and Yankee are actually getting ready to fight for the Hudson Valley Tag Team titles. So we would really appreciate if you guys come out to support us. I mean, we'll let you guys know when the next date is, because right now our latest show got canceled due to we didn't have a doctor or anything. But
Hmm.
I mean, we're gonna start the new year fresh, and we're gonna come out with a bang. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
honestly, just come out, you know, support us, and let's do our thing, man.
Right. So the next show that we'd go into is the Invasion show, actually, where HJW would face BEW. On that show, you had a street fight with a guy called the Demonator.
Yes, the Demonator. I remember that.
Yeah, very physical match, I'd say.
Yes, it was a very physical match. The guy took out a lot of me, you know, and I guess he got the upper hand, man. He hit me with that sledgehammer, and
After the match, yep.
you know,
But can't forget to mention the spear that he caught you with to win the near
yeah.
fall out of midair.
Holy crap, man! That spear. As soon as
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming down, man, that big ass dude tackled me, and all that fucking air came out, and I didn't know what to fucking do after that, man. I just,
Right.
yeah, you know, like couldn't even kick out for the three.
Was no way of getting out of that one, I would sure. Yeah. Uh, in the end, DEW actually won the war, as we
Yes,
see
we
Nevon
did. Yes, we did win the
McDonald
war.
in the main event. And everyone came together, hugging and shaking hands. A good experience, I would assume, for you guys to.
Yeah, you know, it really was a good experience because now some of the guys that you know were actually involved in this whole invasion thing, they're actually doing their thing in the indies, like Kid Christian, JJ Adams. You know, they're in
Mhm.
Grimm's Toy Show doing real big things. You got Jordan Oliver, you know him. He's doing his big thing now. He's going down to CZW or almost. You know, he's probably gonna be going down to ROH soon. You know what I'm saying? Kids doing real big, good things, and I'm real proud of him. You know.
Right.
Because around here, from where we come from, you know, Jordan knows it's not a good area. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I wish nothing but the best for him. Yeah, I wish nothing but the guys, you know, doing big things, nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing I do gotta say is I'll meet you at the top, guys.
Right. So, what overall was that experience like getting to wrestle against another federation for the first time?
um, honestly, it was a great feeling because I never felt so I felt like it was such an emotional feeling for me because I never felt how the excitement and everything that day. You know what I'm saying? There was actually a lot of people there for that show, and you know, it was like my first time like actually getting to feel the roar of a freaking crowd. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm just you know, it's like it felt real good. Like I've actually felt real good with the performance that we did, and like yeah, it was just real awesome.
Right. You got any stories of anything that might have happened off camera from that event?
No, I don't. I just remember I stuck to myself that day, so and
Gotcha.
I just try to focus on my match that day. So I didn't really pay attention to anything that was going on around. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure that match was perfect.
Right. Okay. From there, we'd go into Long Hard Road, episode 18, and Nevon would actually relinquish the BEW World Championship on that show.
Yes, he did.
What did you think about seeing that unselfish side of the man that you'd hated pretty much and been feuding with since he came in?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like it was a good idea that he did that. He just wanted he just wanted to see more new faces, you know, be able to hold that title, you know. He just wanted to see, you know, a better side of BW, you know. No,
Right?
he didn't want to base it just off him, you know.
Which is a good thing because you want to see more than one
Yeah,
person at the top.
yeah,
But yeah, that would also start the Road to Gold tournament to give every, several other
yes,
stars a chance to compete.
yeah. Road to Gold. I actually kind of loved that tournament. That was one of the first tournaments I ever competed in. So
And in that tournament, in the first round, you'd actually face Jordan Oliver.
yeah,
Things didn't go very well for you in that match.
yeah. They didn't. They didn't. But
It was probably, I would say, the first time he had a run in with the Top Guns at that point.
yep, that was yep.
Outside.
It was. You know that I guess. It, listen, man. That stuff like that shit that really pissed me off because you know I'm always like ever since I was in BAW, if I can remember, every single time I'm always getting screwed out of something. So it's just like it's gonna be that time where I'm just not gonna take it anymore, and I'm just gonna go full on in and take whatever it is that I want. You know, understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can understand you. You kind of went over it a little bit, but what was your overall opinion of David at that point coming out? Looked like he was going to save you and then turning in a lion with the Top Guns.
Well, the way I felt about that was really, you know, you was a fucking coward. You know, you got to join somebody in order to beat me. You couldn't be a man about it. You have to join a little clique. You know, associate yourself with other people. You can't be a man about it and just say like, hey, you know, things happen, but I want to match with you. He couldn't say. You know, he had to join Top Guns and you know had to jump me with them. But
Mm-hmm.
as I said, the rivalry goes on. You saw what happened.
I did. And from that, at Road to Gold, actually, you had an instant classic with David that you would come out on top of. What did you think about that match?
Wait, say that again. I don't know. Something's wrong. You cutting off a little bit.
Yeah, you had went on to have the match with David Lowell at Road to Gold, which was an instant classic. What did
Yeah.
you think of that match overall?
Overall, I think me and David killed it that day. I rolled the gold. Honestly, I think without that was honestly by far one of the best matches me and him did so far for that time.
Right?
And I actually enjoyed myself actually wrestling David because every time I wrestle David, we put on a clinic, man. It's always back and forth, back and forth. So
Now, it was on that night as well at Road to Gold where it was announced that the Hardcore Championship would be debuted in BEW, or reinstated, I should say.
yes,
What was your opinions when you first heard the news that the Hardcore Championship was going to be returning?
when I first heard that the hardcore title was gonna be reinstated, listen, man, I already knew where that title had to come and
Right?
whose hands it had to be in. The one and only hardcore Enigma.
It
Me.
just makes sense. It would have made sense anyways. We would see at Halloween Hell just pretty much clips of the 7-man Hardcore Championship scramble. That
Oh, the scramble. Holy crap.
eh,
The scramble. Oh my god.
where at the end of it, David Llewellyn would actually pin you with a little assistance from Jimmy Armstrong holding your legs down.
Yep, that son of a bitch, Jimmy Armstrong.
Yeah. Can
That
you
son. Mm.
explain the frustrations that you had from that match and everything that went down in it?
I honestly, that guy Jimmy Armstrong was a freaking. I don't even know what to say about this guy because he just fucked everything up and Jesus Christ, man! Like I just wanted to beat the shit out of this dude because man, this match could have been a instant classic hardcore match or everywhere was just fight brutal and me and David could have went at it for that and I really don't like to talk about this day. You could even ask Nevon. I really don't because I just felt like, dude, did you see the face paint I had that day?
I did.
I had that customly made.
Oh,
Customly made. Like I actually had my friend's girlfriend come do that paint for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it actually took like
wow.
at least an hour to do that
Damn.
for some bull crap like that.
Right.
Oh man, listen. That's why we have never, and I don't care if he's on this podcast or not. He is never coming back to BEW again.
Okay. Gotcha on that. All right, so let's move on then. Episode 24 for Whom the Bell Tolls. David
Yes.
declared the hardcore title to be re-Christianed as the anti-hardcore championship.
Holy crap! You don't know how bad that bugs Shadowgrim. How are you gonna make a hardcore title be anti-hardcore? It makes no sense to
I would
have
agree.
a hardcore title that's anti. That makes no sense. No count outs, disqualification. What?
Right?
Where do you have you ever seen that in wrestling? Where?
Nowhere that I can recall.
Yes, exactly. So David made a mockery out of the hardcore title, which actually absolutely pissed me the fuck off.
Which you could kind of see that a little bit in the match that you would have that same episode against Alan Styles and Johnny Reed in the handicap match.
Say that again.
So which we could kind of see when you had a handicap match on that same episode with Alan Styles and Johnny Reed of the Top Guns as well.
Sorry about that. Um, yeah. Why not just give me some little toys to take out my frustration? You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So
How did it?
I I, I gladly took that challenge and I made a mockery out of the Top Guns.
Right? How did it feel to be the first man in BEW to beat two men at once, especially being two-fourths of the Top Guns at that time?
It actually feels really good because I know I'm just accomplishing one thing after another. So it actually feels good.
Yeah. So the dark side's in the comment section says fuck Jimmy Armstrong. So he apparently agrees with you on that.
That's what. Thank you, Dark Side. Thank you for agreeing with me. Fuck
Um,
Jimmy Armstrong.
then I also want to mention after that handicap match, of course, the Top Guns would gang up on you. That would lead to Joseph Anthony making the save, and then afterwards, the Top Guns would turn on their own brother, Alan Styles. What did you think of seeing that?
I mean, couldn't you see it, man? I mean, obviously, Allen was the oddball out of the whole Top Guns. There was only three people that actually were irrelevant there. I'm sorry, Allen. It was just true, but still, I mean, I feel like it was a coward move on the Top Guns. You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't you just tell the man, okay, you're out of the crew. You're not. We don't need you no more. Being
Right,
professional about it, but no, they just jumped him, made him look stupid. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Allen, Johnny Reed would have never had the Rising Star title. If it wasn't for
that's true.
Allen, probably David would have never had the hardcore title. Who knows?
Right,
But once you use somebody and you don't need them no more, you just kick them to the curb. that was Top Guns for you.
So it would seem. Uh, for anybody who is just joining, we do have Shadow Grim on here, not Nevon McDonald, just because that's who you can see on the screen.
Oh, all right. Give me 1 second. Yo, yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, can you see me? Like,
Yeah, I figured I should mention it. Not that there's any new viewers, I don't think at the moment, but if there is, that's just not popping up.
I don't know. Yeah.
See if we can get that fixed here.
Oh,
And
damn, dude.
all right, while you're trying to figure that out, though, I will say at that point it was impressive. There was one of the first feuds that we really seen the Top Guns in was against you.
Hold on 1 second, bro.
Yep. Go ahead and mute, do what you need to. Yes, there's a little bit of technical difficulties on Shadowgrim's part. We'll get to it here in a moment, though. And good time for me to plug this. For anybody who's watching later or now, as we go along with Shadowgrim here, once he gets fixed up, we'll get going back in. But I will promote my next show will be tomorrow night with, of course, KBW's Star Cage, the indie star himself as well. And that starts around 9:45, if not a little bit sooner tomorrow night. Past that, we do have a special show that I will announce. Yep, special show that I will announce later tonight as well, towards the end of the show. So, next.
Sorry about that, guys.
All right, we got your back. Okay. So you talked over that one. Let's go in. We would see the debut of Cameron Jackson then in BEW at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
And you would be one of the, I think you were the third person pretty much that he would see backstage.
Yeah.
What was that like seeing Cameron Jackson come into BEW?
I was actually pretty impressed, you know what I'm saying? Like we were doing big things at that time. And to bring in Cam was just a plus, you know what I'm saying? Entertainment. I think Cam is all entertainment. And that's what I like about him. He's funny, good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt good actually working with Cam, doing that little skit we did there.
Yeah, which we'll get into more of you and Cam because obviously we've seen a little bit more of the two of you recently. Um, but in episode 28, Inject the Poison, Cam and Jordan would compete in a pick your poison match, or they would not compete, I guess, but still.
Yeah.
And from that, Cameron would actually choose you to face Jordan Oliver. In that match, you forced Jordan Oliver to submit to the Shadow's Curse.
Yes, I did.
How did it make you feel to make Jordan tap out?
It felt good. It felt real good. It felt if I did that, I know I could beat him for the title.
Right?
If I made him tap, I know I can make him tap again. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
So,
Which,
which I felt like this is where it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's either it's gonna go down,
mm-hmm.
or I'm gonna make hell break loose.
Right. Then we'd move into a show that was episode that was actually pretty much named after that finishing move, the Shadow's Curse, episode 29. Uh, we would see you get attacked not once but twice by David Lowell during that show. And the first time was at the beginning of it. The second time was after you had forced Johnny Reed to tap out to the sharpshooter, actually.
Yes. you know, like I told you before, I'm not new to getting screwed in
Right.
BW. I'm not new to it, so like I said, that's why this rivalry, like it just keeps going on and on and on because it seems to like to David that he just doesn't want to stop.
Right.
So he got what was coming to him. He really did.
How did it feel for you to have an entire episode pretty much named after you?
Feels good. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to have the center of attention, to know that you're actually doing good. You're actually making progress. You know what I'm saying? It feels
Right.
good.
Yeah, I can see you there. Episode 30 was Road to Destruction, of course. And on that show, you would have the BEW's first ever 30-minute Iron Man match with Jordan Oliver.
Whew.
Talk to me about that match.
Jesus Christ, did we go at it that day?
Oh, yeah.
30 minute
I remember seeing it.
non-stop action. All I know is me and Jordan put on a clinic that day. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the best matches I ever did in BEW. One of the best.
That's saying something.
Because, I mean, to go 30 minutes against Jordan and actually slapping the shit out of each other and actually making this match what it's supposed to be for the
Right?
championship match, it was it felt great. It actually made me feel, because this was actually before me and him actually started getting serious with this, and I actually felt that, like, if me and Jordan were to put an indie show match, like,
Yeah.
we would blow the roof off that place.
Right? Now, of course, towards the end of that match, we would see it was tied at 3, and then Jordan was able to pick up the fourth fall, I should say, for him. And then it looked like you were about to make him tap out to the sharpshooter when, of course, David Lowell would have to make his way into the ring and cost you the match, pretty much.
Not once, but twice. That after just had it. I had it.
Mm-hmm.
After that, he just my blood was boiling. After that, I didn't. He crossed the line. Now you want to interfere in a championship match? Now it's on. Now it's on. Now
Right.
I'm gonna get what I want and then some.
Which you would do at Day of Destruction 2 when you took the hardcore title from David Lowell, of course. Or
And
the
it
anti-hardcore
felt,
title, he was calling it then. But
it felt good taking that title away from him on Day of Destruction, to have fellow people that I actually know, friends, family there that day, and actually taking that title away from him. It felt actually pretty good, because not only did me and David put on a hell of a show, but those people went ballistic when me and David went out there.
nice. That pretty much does that. What were your thoughts on UWE actually joining the BEW on that day and coming back ever since? Off night.
It actually it felt really good. I got to see new wrestlers. Got to meet new people, new friends. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in BEW, even though other people come from different federations and stuff, like, I don't see them as friends. I see everybody as a brother. Back
Right.
there, we're all the whole big happy family. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes things might not go a certain way, and people might not like it, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm there to have fun, to entertain, and that's what it's about.
Right. Of course, I'm sure it felt great for you to finally defeat David and take the hardcore title from him, but
Yes.
you didn't really get a chance to celebrate that victory.
And that's when the difference maker came.
Yep.
A tag team partner.
Yep.
I
What was it
mean,
like for you to have your celebration cut short and Yankee pretty
oh
much making a statement at that point?
yeah, he made a statement, and he was still new at the time too.
It's true.
He was still new at the time. He came in BEW, and he made a statement. But one thing was, I didn't respect the fact that he came out, bashed me up a little bit after a hard fought match with David. My first title win. Like I said again, I always tend to get
Sure.
screwed out of something.
Yep.
But you know, it felt
Now,
it felt good doing that, because now it's it's become into something better. Better relationship, like friendship wise, and
Yeah,
everything's cool now.
and we'll talk a little bit more about the whole friendship and partnership of you and Yankee here in a little bit, but we'll get to that. Uh, from there, from Day of Destruction 2, though, we would see you began a Hardcore Championship Open Challenge.
Yeah.
And yep, on episode 32, your first challenger, the first person to accept, was one Dirty to Chico.
Holy crap, Dirty Chico Lee. That was a good hardcore match. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first things first. I wanted to bring some prestige to that hardcore title. You know what I'm saying? Actually,
Right,
I want the hardcore title to actually mean something, actually mean what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a hardcore title. Defend it. I'll defend it anywhere. It doesn't matter. 24/7, wherever you want to go, we'll be there. You know what I'm saying? And I'll defend it.
right.
So it's supposed to be actually. If you
Mm-hmm.
uh, if you recall, seeing a hardcore title was always defended in 24/7 terms. So
And it was.
you know, um, but it felt good fighting Dirty to Chico that day. Actually finishing off with the coast to coast. The first time I ever did that. Well, not the first time I ever did that, but the first time I ever actually made it look pretty with that steel chair is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, the match ended in technical difficulties, and we didn't get to see the end of it. So that obviously that's what apparently happened when we didn't get to see was the coast to
Yeah.
coast.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's that's something that you think we'll possibly see at some point is the end of that match that we didn't get to see.
Yeah. But, you know.
Or how about possibly we'll see you and Dirty at some point again.
Yeah. I have no problem facing Dirty to Chico again. I always enjoy myself when I wrestle Dirty. It's always fun.
After that, we would actually see another open challenge on Last Rites, episode 33, that was answered by Paul Peterson.
Oh God, Paul Peterson.
And during that match, he got a little busted up and busted open above his eye.
Hey, listen. He ran in and I shot the chair. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? And it, it's wrestling. Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? You're in a hard
That's true.
match. You got to expect it. You know,
And
and it is what it is. But I do have some respect for Paul because it didn't matter where Paul was. If he had to walk, if he had to take a cab or anything, Paul was always there. Paul was always willing to come down. It didn't matter if it was raining or not. Paul would help a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I actually respect Paul for that because it didn't matter. Like he came in, he didn't know what he was doing, and as soon as he started wrestling with us, he started learning and learning and learning, and he overall he started being a good performer now.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Just working with us,
right.
you know. So I have actually a lot of respect for Paul, man.
So, what was your overall opinion of the match that you two had that day?
I mean, I felt like it went pretty good. I beat the shit out of him. Why not? It made it look good.
Right?
What can I say? You know what I'm saying? I had to put, like I said, I had to put prestige in that title and make it mean what it is.
Yeah. So from there, we would see the build up to Backyard Rumble 2. What was your opinion of the build up between you and Yankee leading into Backyard Rumble 2?
That contract got it got heated.
Yes, it
It got
did. Very
heated.
good.
As I told you, I'm not, like I said, I was getting tired of getting screwed. So you know what I'm gonna do? Like I said, I'm gonna take it. So I brought it to him. You know what I'm saying? We took that table away. You want to fight? Let's go. We do it right now. We don't have to wait till Backyard Rumble. Why wait?
Right?
Everybody came out, keep separated us and stuff.
Yeah.
It was
They tried anyway.
they tried, but we were still going at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So well, what can you expect from two Hispanic Puerto Rican guys that actually want to take? They want to see blood, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Then we would see the actual match between you and Yankee for the Hardcore Championship at Backyard Rumble 2. What was your opinions of the match itself, first of all?
I felt like we put on a clinic that day. That match was awesome, awesome, awesome. Like I haven't like I had really fun. I had a lot of fun in that match. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
we were both bleeding. Both went through tables. I jumped off. That was the first time I can honestly say I actually jumped off the freaking third turnbuckle with a steel chair like Sabu.
Right.
Not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like that felt so fucking awesome to do that, and then to watch it on video at that, it was just like holy crap! I look statistic just doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
it was awesome. I actually loved working with Yankee.
Of course, that match ended with Yankee taking the Hardcore Championship from you.
Yeah, caught me off guard with the pop up powerbomb. You know what I'm saying?
And he did.
And at the end of the match, I called him over. He didn't even want to come. He was tired. We were all both beat up, but at the end of the day, we showed sportsmanship, and in this game, that's what it's about.
Right. So I actually was talking to Yankee a little while ago. He had a couple questions he wanted me to ask you.
Awesome. Okay.
How big is your friendship with Yankee, and how do you feel teaming up with him on the indie circuit?
Well, Yankee, I have a really good relationship with him. He's a real good friend, and because me and Yankee were talking the first time we were doing this tag team thing. Me and him were talking one day, and we're just in the car and we're like reminiscing, and we're like, dude, what if we actually do this, and we're what if we get the tag titles? And now you see us, and we only been a year in, and we're
Right.
already tag title shots. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a real honor. It's a tag team with Yankee, and I know that we're gonna make it real big. We're gonna make it far. You know what I'm saying? We just got to keep working hard and keep doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate Yankee. I see him as a brother. Another family
Yeah.
member to me. To be honest, sometimes we might not agree on things, but we're men. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
men work it out. So I
Sure.
really I really appreciate Yankee being there and helping us out too, and and the future holds more.
Right. He has another question for you, but I'll get to that later because it pertains to another event that we'll talk about. Um, so then,
Yeah.
also from Backyard Rumble 2, we would see you enter the Rumble match itself, and you're one of the final two. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get to see the end of the Rumble as Novin decided to cut it short.
Yes.
But then
Just
we would actually see you and David Luau one more time on the Fallout episode.
my question is to you, Tony. What did you think of that match?
What did I think of the match between you and David Luau? I thought it was great, to be honest with you.
Did you see? We put on a clinic that day. Who wanted it more?
You wanted it just a little bit more than David did.
it
That's what I'd have to say.
was.
Because you took that win from him.
It felt. It felt awesome to battle David that day. It felt great because it felt like we were reviving a real big rivalry, that we had,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, okay, so it comes down to me and you again, huh? So
Right?
let's do what we got to do. And since we already know each other, we already know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? So it's back and forth again, back and forth.
Back and forth, yes.
I went over once again.
Right? To which from that we would see you're supposed to get an eventual match with Novin to determine the number one contender for the world championship. But before we could get to that, we had episode 34, Open Fight Night 2, and Paul Peterson actually came out to issue a challenge to first Cameron Jackson, and then would call you out as well.
This is why you now do you understand why I say I have too much respect for Paul Peterson?
Yeah, I completely understand. You
This,
got
this,
some
this is
balls.
why he's a crazy son of a bitch. He called me out. He called Cam out, and he didn't
Mm-hmm.
care whether he was getting his ass whipped or not. He just wanted a piece of us. So hey, you want it, you got it. You know,
Right?
I'm not gonna back down from the challenge. Never did, never will.
Yeah.
But why
Of course, Paul took quite the beating in that match too,
he
from
did
both of you.
goal taker? He received the Afro shot from CJE. You know, me and CJ, we went at it for a little bit. He came back, started beating us up a little bit. Then we kicked his ass one more time, and then at the end of the match, I won again.
Yep, you got the win over Cam. At the end of that show, though, you came out and had a little stare down with Joseph Anthony that didn't turn out too well for either one of you, as Novin would come from behind and lay you both out with bolt cutters.
As I said again, me and Levon have a history, but this little demon that's been going on with him starting to
Mm-hmm.
really get my nerves because it's not just me. It's not just me that he's irking. It's all these other backyard federations.
True.
Novin's been going around destroying with his BYW, and honestly, I'm getting sick and I've gotten sick and tired of it, and
Right.
uh, something had to be done.
Which
He
is the
can't.
next topic.
He first of all, he canceled the Rumble.
He
He's
did.
going to other BYW federations and causing hell,
Yep.
and now he hits me in the back of the head. Could probably get paralyzed or something. Not even be able to wrestle again.
Right.
Right in the back of the head to try to make a statement. Well, I got something for you, buddy.
Yep. We'll get into that here in a second. Yankees actually in the chat room says Yankees in the building. Hey, what's up, Yankee? I already asked a couple of your questions if you didn't catch it. Got another part for it later. Uh, from that, we would go into episode 35 that we just seen air recently on the BEW channel, Into the Netherworld. And Novin had the casket match set up for you, but first, he put you in a 5-man gauntlet match,
Yes, he did.
to
Yes, he did.
which we saw two of the 5 men that you would face during that show, as you would face Paul Peterson and then Cameron Jackson.
Yep. Paul Peterson, as you know, gotta respect him, man. He gets in there and does what he has to do, but then they still came a little bit too short.
And he did.
Cam, Cam, I always, we put on a clinic. You said to yourself you would want to
I did.
see me and Cam 1-on-1 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, who knows? Best in the yard is coming around. I would probably want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
always enjoyed wrestling Cam. You know what I'm saying? Me and Cam always put on a clinic too, and you know what I'm saying. And that gauntlet match was pretty good, man. I actually enjoyed that match.
You had to feel a little bit spent, I guess is one word you could put it, after having competed in that match before going on later to compete in the casket match. But at the beginning of that casket match, we would actually see Goldface give you a low blow before the match even began.
As you could see, Novin in his ways,
Mm-hmm.
you know, putting his plots and plans in there. I felt, I was already exhausted fighting
Right.
five guys at the same time. Going in there, beat up her, going into that match after wrestling Cam. I was exhausted. Even putting on all that paint and changing and stuff exhausted the crap out of me. Doing all that,
Right.
but yeah,
I will say this: the match that ensued was a very hard fought match between the two of you and very physical. That casket match.
yep.
However, for once, things did not go Novin's way at the end of that shit match.
No, they didn't. Like I said, I was sick and tired of Novin's little plots and plans, trying to take over BYW and trying to take over BW and just make it his own little circus thing. He wanted puppets and stuff and people to obey and stuff like that. And I wasn't down with it, so I had to
But
do what I had to do.
I gotta ask you, you had help from Joseph Anthony, obviously. What were you thinking when you actually?
Let me mention this as well, that the reason I actually liked that match is because I actually sent them back to hell. If you can actually see in the match, it was getting dark at
Yep.
the as we were fighting,
Sure.
and it felt good to send that fucking demon bastard back to where he came from. Because now everything's all cool, calm, collective in BW now. Things are way better without him.
Oh, I'm sure. But I gotta ask you, what were you thinking when you actually assaulted Tabitha.
I just wanted to see the face on Novin when I'm smashing her face right into the ground, kicking her head like a soccer ball. And then no one's ever done that before
No, nobody has.
but me. And
All right.
that's something everybody's going to remember when I stomped her face and then kicked her out to the curb like a little thought that she was.
Of course, it would also you would also throw her into the casket with Novin at the end of the show too. So,
Yeah. Send her
uh,
off with her little
the
master or
master,
whatever the
so
hell.
whatever we call him. Yeah. So how did pretty much have mentioned this, but how did it make you feel to actually be one of the few people that have defeated Novin in a match?
Actually made me feel good because I actually accomplished something that no one has ever been able to do. And actually being a higher entity now because I beat him.
Something not many people can do. Like I said, we'll mention it was the second casket match that he's lost recently, though, too. So,
It is.
but off of that, it does give you the chance. You are now the number one contender for the BEW World Championship, which means we will see Shadow Grim versus Joseph Anthony at some point in the near future.
Yes,
What are
we
your
will.
thoughts on that?
Yes, we will. And I only have one thing to say is you guys are saying hi to the new BEW World Heavyweight Champion because I've worked my ass off to get to where I've been. I've dealt with so much crap from everyone and everything in BEW. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do what I've been in the legend of Shadowgrim been archiving and doing, and that's gonna be become the world heavyweight champion.
I personally would have to say I could draw some parallels between you and Joseph Anthony because both of you have been screwed quite often by either the Top Guns or the Ministry of Destruction when it comes to a lot of championship opportunities.
Yes,
And we've seen Joseph Anthony overcome those obstacles and is world champion now. That's something perhaps we'll see in the near future. For you, we'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
yes, we will.
But let's just hope once that match comes, it'll be a actual fair one-on-one contest between you and Joseph.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping for as well.
All right. Uh, Anything else you want to mention from your time in BEW so far?
So far, it's been good so far. All I gotta say is that um, there is a new year coming, and
That's true.
I want everybody to expect new things from what we got planned. You know, it's gonna be a good year. I just want to leave it at that. It's gonna be a good year, and we're gonna have a blast. And there's just gonna be a lot of new things that are gonna be expressed, and and everything's gonna be top notch now. So I just want you guys to you know, be patient, and we'll get there.
I'll say this about BEW before I move on to the next topic. Uh, it's going to be quite a different year for BEW when you look at the fact that there's no Top Guns anymore in BEW. There's no Ministry of Destruction anymore in BEW. And perhaps you might not see Novin for quite a while, if at all, again in BEW. So the picture has changed quite a bit, in my opinion,
Yeah.
for 2018. Uh, that's what I got to say about it. Yankee says he'll be damned if he doesn't make 2018 his year.
It's
That's it.
gonna be our year.
He also says you're welcome for taking out the Top Guns as well. So, which he's got a point. He did do that. Um, Getting back to you though, we've seen you a couple different times in some crossover events as well. First one I want to touch on, you were involved in a fatal four-way match in NGW, an elimination match
Yes, I was.
with Samael, Hellhound, and Striker. What was that experience like for you competing for their show?
It's pretty good, wrestling against other new people. I always like to test the waters. and obviously, I came on top. You
You did.
know, for me, I feel like I'm unstoppable in any ring I step foot in.
Right?
That's just my mindset. Be unstoppable. No one can beat you. That's the mindset.
Yeah. That was definitely came out victorious, and he actually got two of the three eliminations in that match as well. So
You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yankee mentions. Oh, sorry.
Hard work.
Yep. Yankee mentioned that you and him took out the two biggest groups in BEW. So pretty much, pretty much true. All right. So the next crossover event I want to touch on is what Yankee wanted me to ask you about. Um, he wants you to tell me about your trip with Yankee as you headed down to North Carolina for for Reunion Rumble, rather.
Oh man, that was one hell of a freaking ride, man. Holy shit, 12 hours. 12 hours in a car stuck with Nevon, Yankee, and Kelly. Holy shit. Listen, I messed with Nevon that whole way down. I kept messing with him, calling him shrimp dick.
Where that came from.
Oh my god, I kept calling him. He kept getting mad. I kept fucking around with him. Even when he was sleeping, I kept putting my finger in his mouth.
And I think we all know by now how much Navon likes having fingers in his mouth.
I'm trying to maintain my composure and not ruin this interview. So it's professional. I'm trying to be quiet, but I ain't gonna be sitting here listening to this shit. What I'm supposed to do? Just sit back and take this?
Oh man. See, you can
Yes, that's Navon.
you can you can see how the mom feels about that whole topic.
Yep.
But over a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun that day. Though that weekend was awesome. I had a lot of fun. It's just I was a little bit sick that time, but around that time, but yeah, I enjoyed myself meeting everybody, meeting Aaron Jones for the first time, meeting Ecstatic, meeting D Lock, AK-47, everybody, meeting everybody for the first time from a different federation in North Carolina. That was actually the first time being in North Carolina,
Right.
actually, and it was an overall good experience. I enjoyed myself.
I probably shouldn't, but I'll mention what Yankee just said. Towards Navon, you want some cookies, motherfucker?
Hey, I want it freshly baked. Don't give me no hard boy.
Uh, Anyhow. Oh, okay. Yeah, Yankee also wants to know how was the North Carolina Burger King?
Man, I was tired of that shit. Lunch and dinner. What the fuck is that? I, yo,
Damn.
oh man, you don't know, yo. Man, we had niggas had to take me to fucking Carl's Jr.'s or some shit. I was not having Burger King for the 2 days I was over. I was tired of Burger King. Even the last day we were there before we left, we had Burger King's breakfast.
Damn.
And then even traveling on the way back down here, we had Burger King again. Somebody had to go in there and get himself a buffalo chicken sandwich. And then messing with Yankee and shit because he allergic.
Damn. Yankee says get a burger and weed all at once.
Yep, that too.
Wow. Let's say if I remember correctly, you had a decent run in that reunion rumble match too. So
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
now I would pretty sure we'll see more of Shadow Grim at some point in BTW.
Yeah. Yeah, you will. Nothing I got to say.
Okay. We'll get a little more onto that topic here as we move into the next uh, crossover event, but this one was actually there in BEW as well. Being, of course, the King of the Yard tournament. Have to bring it up. Your first match with Aaron Jones. What was your opinion of the match, first of all, and then of how the finish happened for the match?
Match overall was going good.
Mm-hmm.
It was going good. The ending though, I don't know whether if it was a lie that Aaron Jones messed up his knee. I don't know whether it was the truth, but what I am gonna say is this: I do want to do that match over again, and if we have to do it at Best in the Yard 3, I'm all for it. Or Best in the Yard 4. Best in the Yard 4. I will. I am down to do that. But this time when we do step in the ring together, this match will be a match that people do remember, and a match that me and him will remember for the rest of our careers.
Fair enough. I know I would love to see the two of you actually go at it again. I thought you guys put on a decent performance up until obviously the finish of that match. So, but moving on from that, in the second round, you were supposed to actually face Rick Rios. However, for whatever reasons, he got pulled over or whatever, Rick wasn't able to make it, and you ended up facing Evan Blake instead.
Yeah, that was actually the first time I actually stepped foot in the ring with Evan Blake. Evan Blake's pretty good competitor, you know what I'm saying? I gotta give him his respect, you know. He actually held his own. Hit me with a good clean shots, you know, executed pretty good moves that I didn't even expect coming from him.
Right.
Overall, you know, I actually want to step foot again in the ring with Evan Blake, you know, because I know this time it would be a lot better, and I know we could pull on ahead of a hell of a clinic too, you know,
Yeah.
and I hope that happens soon as well. So, you know,
I mean, I could kind of see it happening. He does go there to BEW now for Proving Ground, so it's not like he's not there at times. But Yankee, before I get into the third match, Yankee says, "Yeah, let's go back in time to Best in the Yard 3. We can book Shrimp Dick versus the Stiff Knee." He's got a fit fun as usual. But anyway, hey, I'll give Nevon props on this. Him and Avery did have a very good match on BTW programming recently, so
Go,
you're welcome.
reign supreme.
Yes, let it. All right. So then in the third round, you would actually go against somebody that Nevon had attacked time and time and time again during the King of the Yard tournament, of course, AK-47.
I'm gonna say, you know, caught me off guard, you know, Navon. Navon comes out, you know, I'm getting ready,
Mm-hmm.
setting up to hit the final move. You know, he reverses it, hits me with a headshot, knocked me clean, hit me 1, 2, 3. You know, so Albert Ball, blame Navon for that, but
Yeah.
you know,
What was it like to step in the ring with AK-47? Since a lot of people would say he's pretty much a legend when it comes to BYW.
felt pretty good. You know, except for that one part, but you know, it felt pretty good actually completing with him. I actually enjoyed myself. Yeah, he really is different.
Yeah. Well, there's a kid on Twitter recently that's trying to steal his AK's gimmick too. It's not good though, but yeah, that's besides the point. But anyway, any stories from that weekend that you had or would be willing to share from the King of the Yard weekend?
No, not really. You know, I just I didn't really do nothing special that weekend.
What was it like to have all those guys there though from different companies?
That doing that tournament, it was actually pretty freaking cool because we didn't even think we would be able to pull something off that big.
Right.
Um, Having 32 competitors come down from everywhere, we were by far the first backyard wrestling company to do that federation, as I might say. To,
True.
to that level, we've actually, there is nobody over here in the state of Newburgh, Newburgh, New York, wherever we are, that has ever done what we're doing today. You know what I'm saying? And we're just trying to make that a landmark. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
keep.
Now I would assume if there is a second one that possibly could happen, King of the Yard, that you would more than likely throw your name in the hat for that as well,
Of course.
since you made it so far this year. If you had a choice and could choose your opponent in the first round, who would you pick and why?
Wow, there's so many people to choose from. But
Right.
overall pick, it had to be Yankee.
All right. Now, if we went with somebody from another company, since a lot of the matches are co-branded, or two different companies facing each other, could you pick somebody from a different company?
A different company. Who would it be? Dustin Reagan.
Oh, I'd love to see that. Hardcore Enigma and the Man of War, especially with what he's doing now.
That would be one hell of a match.
Oh, I would agree with that. Very much so.
That would be one hell of a match. I would enjoy putting on a clinic with Dustin because me and Dustin been wanting to do that for a long time, and not for nothing, that is a best in the yard caliber match right there. And I wouldn't mind doing that either.
No.
But yeah, that would be definitely one of the other people from a different backyard wrestling that I would really want to face.
All right. So, what was your opinion of Cameron Jackson winning the King of the Yard tournament?
I was actually really happy for Cam, and I wished him nothing but the best that day. You
All right.
It is pulled it off. He's the first one to ever win the King of the Yard tournament.
So, what are some potential future crossovers that you think we'll see Shadow Grim partake in?
Well, right now, as my indie career is going, I'm just trying to focus on the pros for right now, and then maybe you see, if probably I do have some time in the future, you probably might see me on a crossover or something.
All right. So, we kind of lost you there for a moment, and then you came back. You just wonder what happened.
Did you hear anything I said?
We didn't catch everything that you said, most of it, but
I was saying like right now, going doing crossovers and stuff right now. I kind of like I really don't like have the time to be doing them because I really want to focus on my professional career right now in the indie scene, and
right.
I want to get my name out there and actually do things the right way, how they're supposed to be done. But like I said, who knows? Probably if I have enough time one day or something, and if Vaughn lets me know the crossover and I'm not doing anything, I might show up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
It, it's always in there. I don't make decisions final. Like I'm not gonna go to a different crossover. Like, I'm an open. I always I like to plan things ahead of time. And if there's time, you'll.
Right. Right. So, did you get a chance? Have you gotten a chance to watch Best in the Art 3 this year?
I actually haven't because, like I said, Time with me is like I'm always busy. I'm always working. I'm
Right.
always in the gym. So by the time I get home, I just want to relax and because I'm exhausted by the end of the day. So
Yeah.
you know, just sit on the computer and just start watching videos. Like sometimes, like I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying. But I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying. That it's just like the time for me is like really bad.
Right. Right. Uh, let's move into one of my favorite parts of the show then. I'm going to throw you inside an elimination chamber match.
Awesome, one of my favorite. I love that match.
I think you would do well in that match. Who are the 5 backyard wrestlers that you're facing inside that?
Most importantly, Nevon has to be in there.
You,
Yankee, David, Cam, and Kelly. Dark Side.
yep. Out of those 5 men, who are you eliminating last to win that match?
I have to say Yankee.
Nice. Gives you a chance to go on to, let's say, main event and best in the yard, since that's pretty much BYW's version of WrestleMania. Who would you face at that show? And if it's for a title, what title would it be for?
Wow. Can you tell me that question? Because that's a real good one.
I can tell you that question again. Put you in the main event of a best in the yard. Who are you facing? And for a championship, what title would it be that you'd be facing?
Wow. You put me in the main event of Best in the Yard. Wow. That's real cool. Um, Sheesh. That's a you got me there. That's a hard one.
I'll think about it while I mention what Yankee had to say. To you saying you'd eliminate him last from the Elimination Chamber, Yankee says, "Damn you."
um, but I would have to say for the title, I'll put the if I were to be the BW champion at Best in the Yard, I would put it on the line against Dustin Reagan.
Nice. I like the choice.
It had to be Dustin Reagan because I feel like for the first time that would be a real big event that even everybody in backyard wrestling would sit around the ring for because everybody knows what we both could do while we're in there.
Right.
So everybody would be so excited to watch that, and you know, because everybody knows what type of wrestler I am. Everybody knows what type of wrestler he is, and the things that could be done in that match would be unbelievable.
Right. Could you name me, let's say, at least 3 other guys from backyard wrestling that you'd like to step in the ring with that you haven't yet, besides who we've already mentioned?
Um, well, Evan Blake again. He would
Right.
be fun. Chase Bridges.
Really?
I never haven't wrestled Chase Bridges and Jamal Payne. I haven't faced Jamal Payne yet.
I could see that. You and Joel Payne, I'm sure, would put on an interesting match. Now, advice I would say to that, if you ever got the chance to face him, is to take out the other 2 members of the change first before you do that, before you have the match.
Wait, say that again.
He's got a stable called the Change now in BTW that I
Oh,
would
really?
say if you're going to face him, make sure you take out those 2 other guys in that before you face him one on one.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Yankee says if you can get past his trolls. Yeah, he's got D'Lo Smith and some kid named Casey Chambers in his corner, so we won't go there. A lot of people say stuff about him, but and of course Yankee says MC's got you anyway, so
of course.
Speaking of which, what is it like for you to be part of the Murder Club?
Feels good, man. I mean, I'm not officially down with the Murder Club, but when it does happen, let's just say there's gonna be hell to pay.
Gotcha. All right. Now, we've seen you in Rumble matches in BEW and the one in uh, VTW. Is that a match that you see yourself in possibly going to VTW again or anywhere else that had a Rumble match and invited you to be a part of it?
I mean, I've already done it once, but if I'm going to VTW again, I want a one-on-one match. I
Yes, I
actually,
already. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I want a one-on-one match because I mean, if I did the Rumble already, what sense does it make of me doing it again just to
Sure.
go with a Rumble? Like, I want a one-on-one match. I want to show people what I can actually do in the wrestling ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel it. I'll ask again, but yes, I did ask Yankee. He's just wanting to know about the questions I asked you about him earlier, how big the friendship is between you and him, and what it's like to team up with him in the Indies.
Like I said, it's real awesome, man, and like it's like a brother. You know, it's like having a brother there with you all the time, and I can't wait to you know go more on the road and more on the indie scene with him. You know, and like the way I see our tag team, if we do it the right way, how we're supposed to, I see us going to ROH. I see us going to New Japan. You know what I'm saying? I see us going to other like real big wrestling promotions. You know what I'm saying? We just got to keep working hard and doing what we got to do, staying up. You know what I'm saying? Keep that partnership going, motivate each
Okay.
other. You know, take each other to the next level.
All right. Put a little more into it. So yeah. Uh, any other stories that you possibly have from your time in backyard wrestling,
Well,
or any other matches you want to
um,
talk about?
I mean, there's so many I could go on and on, like, but there's yeah, I mean, the story I could really just tell you is just that backyard wrestling has always been like a gateway for me to just not be someone different other than myself. Do you
Right?
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
That's it.
because after a whole week of 5 days being your normal self and just living life and stuff, you want to get out of that and you want to go to a different world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
you don't want to be that person for a certain amount of time, and it's like it's a real on me. I feel like it's a real stress reliever because like me at home, like I barely get any support on doing wrestling and stuff. So
Yeah.
and to have a lot of people on the internet and a lot of people over here letting me know that you're doing something big. You know what I'm saying? And that on my part it actually makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel like I've actually like accomplished something. You know what I'm saying? And to be accomplishing something in the industry where I really wanted to, it just makes me feel even better about myself.
Right. Another question I could ask is: you got any advice for any younger guys that might be starting out in backyard wrestling?
I mean, most importantly, first things first, always be safe. It sucks to get injured while you're wrestling, and I know a lot of people say they love wrestling and stuff, but please, guys, get trained. You know what I'm saying? Do it the proper way. You know what I'm saying? Don't risk yourself. You know what I'm saying? Doing all these crazy nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you could do it good. You know what I'm saying? If but I really recommend younger guys to actually get trained. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when I started watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I learned from there, and then I obviously started going to go train in different places, and I started learning from people who were actually pros and stuff. And um, you know what I'm saying? I got the point they were trying to come across and stuff, the things they were teaching me, I actually caught on to them pretty quick because like I said, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and to see how to do things the right way. But they just cleared them up for me, and now I understand everything. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
but I do recommend a lot of younger guys to get trained and to actually do things the right way.
All right. Which one was going to answer? Is there any companies out there that you would like to see come to BEW that haven't had the opportunity to at any point, or more of, other than just King of the Yard, perhaps?
Well, right now I really haven't heard about any other federations other than the ones that we actually associated ourselves with. But I mean, if other other federations want to come down, be my guest. You know what I'm saying? We're always accepting new people in the slaughterhouse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People want to come throw down, we could come throw down.
All right. So I'll get your opinions here real quick on Proving Ground then as well, since it is recorded obviously there in BEW. What do you think of the concept of the show, first of all? And
I feel it's good. I feel like it's another way to have newer talent show what they got,
mhm,
show what they're capable of. You know what I'm saying? Um, Before they're transferred over to the main roster. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, a better a better a better product is always it's always like for me, I feel like it's always more professional to have a better product. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
if we have proving ground, um, it's like we can scout and see newer talent. You know what I'm saying? To see
mhm,
who we could put this person up against. You know, to make uh a better product for BW. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's actually a good thing that's actually being done. You know,
Is there anybody in particular that you've got an eye on, I guess you could say, from that roster?
I could say the $1 million Victor Van Pelt.
The current champ? Yep.
He's he's pretty good. You know, Hellhound as well, a striker. You know what I'm saying? Casey James, Mike Perillo. You know, there's a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? And they
Mm-hmm.
they're making a statement, man. They're doing something good. You know what I'm saying? And I just want everybody else to stay tuned and watch what everybody got.
Right. Yankee asked if you can make a stable and name three people that you would have in it from any feds in backyard wrestling.
With me to make a stable in backyard wrestling, right? So I would have
Yeah.
to say me, Yankee, and even though he's a real big time rivalry, I'd have to say David because that right there is we could make something like Hispanic out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all three Hispanics, and
Right.
we really do see a lot of Hispanic stables sometimes in wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and um, it would be awesome to have something in that perspective. You know what I'm saying? To actually go towards the Latino network. You know what I'm saying? And if we
Yeah.
could bust that out, I can imagine how many more people we would have in like for our product. You know what I'm saying? Looking at our product from all over the world.
True. Uh, is there any meaning behind the face paint that you done at Shadow Grim at any time?
I mean, sometimes Shadow Grim. You know what I'm saying? What comes to mind? Grim Reaper, right? So I've
Mm-hmm.
always just liked the classic black and white skull. You know what I'm saying? Cracked up. You know. But the reason why I do different colors is because I like to be different. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to do the same thing over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? The only time I wear the black and white paint, the skull, is literally because that is the first ever paint that I've ever done for Shadow Grim. So that is the original. When I do something colorful or something like that, is because I want to be different. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody does a blue and black skull. No one ever like you barely see a lot of people who do face paint if they're doing a skull type makeup. They don't change the colors up. It's always black and white. So I brought it to myself. You know what I'm saying? Let me be different. You know what I'm saying? Let me change up the color.
All right. Yankee says him and Rick Rios come in a 2-for-1 package, so Ricky would have to be part of that group as well.
Oh man, these guys are insane, man. They're insane.
So, who would you say would be your biggest rival out of these two guys, Nevon McDonald and David Lowell? Who would you say was a bigger rival?
That's holy crap. That you hit me there because that's a really tough question because
That's the
they
two
both
longest rivalries you've had, really.
yeah they both been a thorn in my balls. So holy shit. But I would have to say Nevon McDonald a little bit more because he irks me to the point where I get blindsided and I just fight with him anywhere we go. Even if we're not in the slaughterhouse, we're still fighting. So it doesn't even matter. So I would have to say Nevon.
Fair enough. All right. Let's see. Yankee, if you got any more questions or comments, put them in there. Anybody else who's watching that's being quiet. I'm leaning towards the end of my questions here.
They better not be quiet.
They're being quiet at the moment. Yankee's the main one talking.
How many people are in that live stream?
It only shows 2 on here, bud.
Well, the other one need to start speaking. Yankee, send the link to this podcast into the group chats or some shit because there need to be more people on here. This the hardcore Enigma, the butcher of the slaughterhouse, Shadow Grim. We need more people. Some respect. Yeah, coming up Thursday, I'll sell Cage on here. I bet everybody be on this shit. But Shadow Grim on here. We need more people.
Yankee says to your point of you and Nevon getting in fights all the time, to the point that you want to put your finger in his mouth.
All right. Next.
Who in BEW haven't you gotten a chance really to compete with that you'd like to at some point?
You know what? I have competed with this person, but there's something about this person that when I get a step in the ring with him, I tend to bring out the best in him. His name is Johnny Reed.
The Shotgun Kid.
Shotgun Kid, Johnny Reed. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of potential in Johnny Reed. You know what I'm saying? And when I get in there, you know what I'm saying? He says it himself. He loves wrestling with me because he can be open and free. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When we wrestle, I let him be him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't want him to be anybody else but himself. You know what I'm saying? And what he does, he has the caliber, to actually put on great shows, a lot of great shows.
As he also does go by the Superior Prodigy. I'm almost surprised Yankee doesn't mention the fact that currently Johnny Reed is retired from BEW thanks to Yankee.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it'd be good to see you two step in the ring again together at some point. One match we did see between the two of you was good, so very good. That one I don't say thank you for, Yankee. So no, I don't want to accept you. You're welcome. So I think Johnny's got a bright future and could do a lot more in BEW. Yeah, I think that would be good. Of course, you know who I think I want to see you with more in BEW or wherever it be. So That being you and Cam at some point.
Yes.
All right. Uh, Let me see. Yeah. Who would you say are some guys in the indies that you like to get to face? Maybe that you haven't had a chance to yet, or that you do guys do get a little more of a chance to face.
Most importantly, um, I would like to wrestle now in the indie scene, and if I ever do get to be on a show with him, I'd like to wrestle the likes of RVD. He's one of my favorite wrestlers that I grew up watching, idolizing him, doing some of the stuff that he does. Um, Another person would be to face Jordan, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and facing Kid Christian, all these new guys. You know what I'm saying, coming up. I would love to face all of them. Arcadia. Um, the list goes on and on and on, man. Anthony Gangone. There's a lot of upcoming new wrestlers right now that are actually killing it right now, and I wouldn't mind going up against any of them. I like challenge.
Yeah, he says Dillinger and Classes, we want the gold sucker. We coming for you. Not gonna mention last thing you said, but yeah.
Coming, damn it.
Um, for backyard wise, we've seen you in a few different stipulation matches, but are there any stipulation matches that you haven't had the chance to compete in that you would like to at some point?
Wow. I would like to be locked inside a steel cage.
Gotten that from a couple people.
Locked inside a steel cage against the king of the mountain, Nevon McDonald.
You know what you gonna get? You gonna get buried, and I'm gonna put you down in the dirt. That's what you gonna get. For one, another one.
I'd honestly like to see a steel cage match in backyard wrestling if somebody could ever figure out how to do one. That would be interesting. But speaking of dirt, since Nevada and I overheard saying something about dirt, have you seen the Buried Alive match that he partook in recently? Novin partook in recently. Sorry.
Wow.
I have not seen that.
Wow. W Broken Glory is on the BW channel. You ain't see it.
Sorry, I didn't see it.
Unbelievable. Shicey.
What would you think of being?
They are. He even watched the Buried Alive man. Just choke him dead. Choke him. Support BYW.
Oh, well, that'll be interesting to see then. Yankee says stay tuned. You'll see a steel cage match in BEW. Breaking news, perhaps. I look forward to that because I've been wanting to see one in backyard wrestling. So
I don't got no comment.
I'm sure you don't. I know how you feel about certain things. So, but back to the question I was going to ask you: if given the opportunity, would you be willing to compete in a Buried Alive match?
Of course. I know it. It is. It does sound scary. But yeah, I'll do it.
I know I talked.
You crazy.
No, I talked recently to Everett Creed, who, of course, break kayfabe here a little, portrays Lips, and he says it's something he would never do again.
Speaking of that one, they tell me who else I would like to face in BYW. Lips.
Yeah.
Lips is another guy I would want to face in BYW because me and Lips would put on another good match. It's two freaks.
He gonna rock. Oh, Shadow, he gonna rock.
That can make for a very interesting contest, yes. Yankee says, don't wrestle Nevon because he got the shovel. I'll finish you in 3 minutes or less. He will. But yeah. All right. So, are there any stipulation matches that you haven't really seen in Backyard Wrestling that you think would be good to see at some point in Backyard Wrestling? You know, hardcore Enigma and all.
A lot of matches. I think we've had probably every match in the book except an Inferno match. Match. I mean, we've had, but if we could get to the point where crazy things like that and not have to be scared to kill each other and stuff. Yeah. I mean, we're not. You know, you gotta do something different.
This is wrestling. God. We can't put nobody in no Inferno match. Have to do it with it. But Inferno match, man.
Shut up, man! Before I put your ass through thumbtacks.
Seen plenty of those. All right. Yankee, if you got anything else left to ask or whatever, we're gonna finish up here in the next few minutes since we got a couple more viewers. If anybody else wants to join in a question or comment, put them in there. We might go a little longer than I was planning, but we'll see. If anybody wants to talk, that is.
It ain't 3 hours like me and Everett. Or
and Cam. Don't forget Cam. We went 3 hours with Cam as well.
that Cam laughed. I don't think it caught. But yeah. I'm still the longest one though.
Oh. This one could be interesting. D-Lock versus Shadowgrim. D-Lock pops in and says, I know he wants that. He's in the Rumble last year.
Yes, I do. He knows that. I know that. We'll make it happen. 2018 is the year of surprises. Let's see what happens.
Fair enough point. Another match I think would be very good, but from the guys in VTW, I do have to say you and Dustin, I think, is the one I would definitely love to see it the most. So, with what he's doing right now after his feud with Novin, definitely would love to see that feud. Seeing you and Shadow. Maybe you and Dustin, I mean. But yeah. Aw, am I there?
Keep talking loud.
I hear Devon saying something about D-Lock in there. No,
Hey,
D-Lock.
don't say nothing. I was going, he gonna have to get in line because I want D-Lock first. Okay.
Well, yes, we know that all stems from you guys' little soiree, so to speak, at Best in the Yard.
You hear me, Ben? I'm talking to you. You should have been there at Best in the Yard. All the shit you was doing. Ooh, it was heated behind the scenes.
Well, Nevon, D-Lock says he's going to whip your ass. So.
Do I think he can whip my ass? Hell no. Do I think I can whip his ass? Well, hell to the yeah. And twice on Sunday. Bring it, bitch. Bring it.
And he's going to ruin your night's clothes again.
I got on my Ralph Lauren there. He probably forget. I heard I choked him. That $100 I choked him with it. He forgot that.
We going off topic here. That's not a problem.
I'm jumping out of the Kool-Aid.
That candy you got going on over there.
What kind of candy?
That candy right there.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, I think you'd be good in a lot of these different stipulation matches that we haven't seen a whole lot of in BEW. I mean, there was once a body bag match too that would be interesting to see take place in BEW as well, in my opinion. That Novin was also involved in, but just a lot of things that I think could be brought in there. But that's just my opinion. D-Lock says, Nevon, you forgot I whipped your ass with your own belt, too.
What did you say?
I said, no, I guess you forgot if you whipped your ass with your own belt, too.
You know what? I had my interview already. This is Shadowgram. You got something to say? Say it to him. Okay. You're not gonna stop wild me up. It ain't happening.
You mentioned it, and I was going to ask you more about it, and I didn't get to it. But now that I remember, you mentioned Chase Bridges you wanted to step in the ring with at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Why Chase Bridges?
Just someone different. He has talent.
Yeah.
The match with like him, people like him. He's really underrated for me. From what he's real underrated.
I would agree with that. Chase is underrated. A couple other people are in BTW as well, including one person in the chat room here. But in my opinion, that's just my opinion, though. Yeah, I think that would be an interesting match, though. Yeah. Now, if you were to, let's say, travel to DBW, is there anybody in that company that you'd like to face besides Mr. Judgment, or if they came to BEW?
Mr. Judgment. A lot of people have been asking me to face him. I guess he's real good talent. I guess he's good. I guess I have to see that. Oh, huh. And another person I would like to face there is the world heavyweight champion, KC James.
Oh, Yakan is young.
No, he didn't just say that.
I had to say it. It's his catchphrase.
He just had to slip that in there. What?
Yes, I did. That'd be an interesting match, though, as well, to see you and Casey at some point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, gotta mention this one. Darkside mentions there's a match that's never been done before in BYW. And next year you are gonna see himself and Shadowgrim murder each other. Mark my words, it will be a classic.
Bring it on, the dark side. Bring it on.
We'll see. You guys got any last comments or questions? Put them in here real quick. Like I said, probably gonna end it here soon. Now that we're down to 2 viewers again, apparently. But yeah. How much longer do you see yourself participating in backyard wrestling? Would you say?
It's crazy that you asked me that question because I was actually thinking about that. And I really don't know because a lot of things been going on right now, and like I said, I want to focus on that. But to help out and to be there for the brand that if it wasn't for what we did, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But yeah, like I said, I want to focus more on my indie career.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 2018 might be the last year I might be doing it.
Doing what?
BYW.
You with me forever. You ain't going nowhere. All these boys in BW going on in the indies and stuff. Jordan, everybody else. You can't leave me too. No.
You know.
No, I do understand. No. I know this is what you want to do. So if opportunity, you seize and take it. I'll be there to support you.
Like I said, it doesn't mean I'm not going to be there for the brand that opened the doors for me to be where I'm at today. And yeah.
So besides BYW, where does Felix, I guess, is the question who I would have to ask for this one. Where do you go from here when it comes to the indies? Where do you see yourself going in the long run?
Well, everybody's major goal in this game is to make it to the WWE. So right now, I've been having a lot of visions, and I actually sit in my room and think about this every day. Is the word if I make it, but when I switch the word to when I make it, it just drives me a lot more. Like my mind completely changes, and I just get the energy and I get the motivation to pursue everything that is with the faith of God, and you know, and the motivation that I provide myself, and I see everybody that supports me. It just makes me a better person. And, um, my goals right now are to kill it in the indie scene with Yankee, as you
Yep.
see it right here. Try to make it to SWF again. Start competing over there in Jersey. Um, I'm gonna try to my best to get to ROH, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and as I said before, I'll stay at the top when I'm in the WWE. You know what I'm saying? That is the goal right now. That's where I want to be. And that's where I'm going to show everyone that degraded me, that said I wouldn't make it, that said that I don't know what I'm doing. That's when I finally say I made it. And now you guys could swallow the fucking words because I'm here now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
Yeah, I feel you completely on that one. Definitely go and prove to the world that they can say it's not going to happen, but you're in charge of your own destiny. So,
but I do say this because I have been thinking about say bringing Shadow Grim to the team. So if I do that, you guys are gonna know where that gimmick originated from. So
gotcha. Yankee says, "Ooh, I don't want to mess up your guys' tag team name. Los,
Intocable.
yes, GTS.
Yes, we do. Yes, Yankee, we do need to go over there. We need to find some time to get to GTS, the Grimm's Toy Show. Nevon, you gotta come down there too.
I'll bring the guitar.
We gotta. Um, yeah, I mean, I have so much fun when we go down to Grimm's Toy Show because we are so free over there, and it is so fun. And I don't know if you've been keeping up with the stuff they're doing right now. They've been having a lot of good matches. A lot of famous wrestlers coming down to wrestle with them. Um, and yeah, just from that doing that one show we did with them, um, we me and my friend Mike Fresh, we actually got a lot of followers on Twitter from that, and yeah, we plan on going back over there and starting a whole riot all over again.
Very nice. Something to look forward to perhaps in the new year.
Yes, yes, of course.
All right. Since the chat got quiet again, I'll let you finish up. You got any last words or comments you want to make before we close out the show here, real quick?
You know what? I got a few words.
I'm sure you do, Nevada.
Felix is somebody. I remember the time in the beginning, in the early stage with the trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
Felix was the very first person to tell me we should get a ring, a wrestling ring. He told me he had a dream that we were wrestling in a ring and the lights were on us and everybody was watching us and it was so cool. And I was thinking to myself, man, that sounds like a great idea, but I don't think it's going to work. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a ring. But in time, at that day of Destruction 1, yep, we were able to come up with the ring, the money, and mainly me, but you did help out with $100. I'll give you credit for that. But yeah, so he's the main person that got us to get that wrestling ring or the vision for it. So I always appreciate him for that. Excellent wrestler, great gimmick, awesome guy outside of the ring. Everybody know I'll put him up against Felix. Anybody, yeah, they'll let you know that. I love seeing him compete in the ring with pretty much everybody, make him look great. So yeah, you the man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's it.
Yeah, well, I got something for you, Nevon.
What, Tony? What?
Well, I should say Yankee does.
Huh?
Yankee's got something for you more so than I do. Says, you look like somebody's stepfather that nobody likes, but we all fuck with them because he has a cool sweater on.
Hey, it's the Christmas season. I'm wearing this nice sweater today. This come from H&M. You can love it, you can hate it, but you got to deal with
it. All right. So if anybody doesn't know, for these guys that have been getting on here from BEW, it's all thanks to Nevon McDonald. So I got to say thank you to him for that. And I know he's got a couple more people in mind eventually. We'll get to them when we get a chance to.
Yeah, they'll be on.
As we've had Nevon, of course, and Novin on here. We've had Joseph Anthony. We had Yankee, even though he wasn't necessarily repping BEW when he was on here, but he'll be on again soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I'd like to see that again.
It'll be a little bit better than the last time Yankee was on. So.
Yeah, especially with some of the things that's coming up very, very soon. You definitely gonna want him to come on again because there's some awesome stuff coming for the difference maker in BEW.
We'll see who we can get otherwise. Yankee's got one more question for you, Nevon.
Oh God, we trying to go. What is it?
I know. Do you have a hippo leather jacket?
What do you think?
Hippo leather jacket.
Hippo leather. Oh, he talking about what, the best in the yard jacket blazer I had. Oh, that's expensive. That was nice. He don't got no class. He don't got no sense of fashion or nothing. So he wouldn't understand none of that. He always hated.
Gotcha. Nonetheless, did I forget anybody from BEW that I've had on?
The
Dark Side, yes. Can't forget about the Dark Side. He was on here. Yeah,
I can't stand his ass.
Yeah, you can't stand his ass, and he's still the most viewed show on here. So.
I hate him even more. Shit, I hate everybody.
But anyway, yeah, we're gonna close out now. You look old, Nevon, says Yankee. This has been Tiger Talks Wrestling, as we've been trying to close out. Thank you again, Shadowgrim, for being on here. If you got any last words, go ahead and put them out there here real quick.
Thank you for having me, Tony.
Yeah, you're welcome. Very much enjoyed it. It's been a good show. Again, I will mention, be back on here tomorrow night around 9:45 with, as mentioned earlier, KBW's Cage will be on around 9:45. And then an announcement here for anybody who's tuning in that doesn't know. Next week, Friday, at between 7 and 7:30, I will be doing an All-Stars version of Tiger Talks Wrestling, where we will have several guys back on that have been on the podcast so far. And we'll be talking about the year in backyard wrestling, pretty much on that show. So, a few things to look forward to here in the next couple weeks, as my birthday week continues here tomorrow with Cage on the show. For that,
wish you a happy birthday, Tiger.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Got that coming up on Saturday. 32
awesome.
years ago. Yay. Oh, but yeah, it's been a fun week so far, so we'll see how tomorrow night goes. I'm expecting big things from it. So
awesome.
But
good interview. I loved it. Yeah. Yeah.
For Nevon McDonald, of course, the King of the Mountain, and for the Hardcore Enigma Shadowgrim, this once again has been Tiger Talks Wrestling. We'll see you tomorrow night. Let's have a good night. And for Yankee. Thanks.